where just on Friday, the market managed to lose or to reverse its two-day losing streak.
Yeah, Alicia, good morning. It's actually a trend that will continue for some time because what we see now, we have profit takers always trying to take position in almost any stock they have made a little bit of appreciation. So this trend is supposed to continue, but there might be a reduce in the trend of it this week because most volume might go up this week because people will be taking position in anticipation of the quarterly result that will soon be coming in from the banks. And so many other details like the board of AMCOM, everybody's expecting that board will come on stream this week. And then we have mortalities of how most of these loans will be recovered, most of this money will be recovered from some of these rescue banks. So by and large, we'll have a little bit of activity this week, but I don't know how the market will sustain it, but we don't expect the market to be bullish all through the week.
Pertaining to news flow within the banking space in particular, we heard late on Friday that former CEO of Oceanic Bank, Cecilia Ibru, was sentenced to 18 months in jail. What exactly has that done to sentiment in the banking sector as a whole?
Well, Alicia, such a news is supposed to come with a little bit of nostalgia and sometimes both people there and there, because really people don't really understand the nature of this judgment. You know that it was at the close of the exchange was already closed for the day before this judgment came in. And then when you look at it, it's a played bargain, which says the both lawyers actually met to agree on terms and everything. Then some of these sentences that people are saying, she was not even sentenced for stealing. She's been sentenced for over-bloating the account book. She's sentenced for giving loans without collaterals. And so when you look at this, it's more or less of a political judgment than the criminal judgment, because each was only charged on 3-count charge of 17, 22, and 21. And so when you look at all these judgments, you realize that each of these judgments carries a 6-month sentence, and they will run concurrently. And she's still in the hospital recuperating, and I don't know, we're still looking at this center, we're still looking at this judgment, but it's more or less like a political judgment than a criminal judgment.
Well, we'll have to see the kind of effect this has on sentiment, as more details emerge on that front. In the meantime, quite a bullish run on Guinness being experienced on Friday. Looking at Guinness specifically, what's your view? Because Renaissance Asset Managers specifically highlighting Guinness Nigeria amongst top equity picks on the continent.
Yes, a very good stock to have, Guinness Nigerian PLC, because you know why they had that run is that this is a company that just paid a dividend of 8.25 naira to its shareholders, and going forward, the projection of Guinness is very good. And when you're looking, we're entering the season where most of all these brewery company makes a lot of result, and people are anticipating of the half-year result of Guinness should be out any moment from now. I think investors are just taking position because this has been a company that has been known to pay consistent dividend for a long time, and even at a point it gave bonus to shares. And you have to look at this shareholding structure, and you have to look at this in terms of outstanding numbers of shares. Guinness absolutely have a little outstanding number of shares compared to its contemporary like Nigerian Brewery and International Brewery, and it's a brand that has stayed in a long time, and is known with excellent results. I think that's why people are beginning to understand. That's why you're beginning to have a bid process, and you just know that the registrar just closed sometime last week. So we don't expect anything to change. This is a company that has been consistent, and we expect it to pay off.
Well, finding a very strong competitor in Nigerian breweries as well. We had that share price climbing up 2.6% by the close of Friday's session as well. How does Nigerian breweries stack up against Guinness Nigeria comparatively?
Well, when you look at the type of result that comes in terms of profit after tax, you see that Nigerian brewery tend to have more than Nigerian and Guinness. But sometimes when you look at the outstanding numbers of share, Nigerian brewery have a very over-bloated numbers of share compared to Nigerian brewery, to the Guinness Nigerian PLC. So with this, you realize that the earning per share of Nigerian brewery is lower than that what you have in Guinness Nigeria. So, and Nigerian brewery look more of a volatile. You should remember that within the week, the last week before it came down to that price, it was selling at its highest ever level, 81 naira 22 kobo, before it dropped as low as 76 naira, and then it came back to 74 naira. So when you look at this, and you know that again we are expecting the third quarter result of Nigerian brewery too, and their first and second quarter result has been good. And these are companies that pays interim dividend too. But when you look at the terms of competitive nature, the Nigerian brewery brand is all known. The Nigerian brewery it has larger coverage. But when you talk of their standing numbers of shares, you see that Guinness have a little lower standing number of shares to compare to Nigerian brewery. So Guinness can afford to pay high dividends compared to Nigerian brewery. So with that, you realize that most investors put their trend with Nigerian brewery, looking at the price of Nigerian brewery compared to the price of Guinness Nigerian PLC. And Guinness Nigerian PLC is not noticed for giving interim dividend, while Nigerian brewery is noted for that. And Nigerian brewery gives 100% of their earning per share.
Of course, and investors chasing any incentive at this stage of the game, and divvy payouts, one of those strong incentives to bear in mind.